When it comes to the blind auditions on The Voice, there's always that one moment where an artist does something unexpected. A performance that stops the coaches dead in their tracks, fires the crowd, and sends shockwaves across the music world. This particular event occurred during season 27 when Zack Zaro approached the stage and reinvented the legendary pop anthem, "Baby One More Time" by Britney Spears. However, he added a twist that had everyone, including the coaches Adam Levine, Michael Bublé, John Legend, and Kelsey Ballerini, absolutely in amazement. At the center of the stage, Zack, an artist who had a background in classical training and a penchant for blending genres, was poised and ready to provide his performance. The rendition that he gave to the timeless song from 1999 was not only a cover, rather, it was an original creation. It was the audience's expectation that they would hear the typical bubblegum pop rhythm, but instead they were treated to something completely new, completely original, and completely compelling. As soon as Zack began strumming the first chord on his guitar, it became immediately apparent that this was not going to be a standard blind audition. A daring approach, reimagining pop music with the soul in mind. "Baby One More Time" was approached by Zack in a manner that could only be described as daring. He reimagined it as a soulful ballad with rich guitar melodies, delicate piano, and the kind of heartfelt intensity that made every note feel as if it was being sung from the depths of his soul. Instead of sticking to the original's popular pop framework, he had reimagined it as a soulful ballad. The classic lyrics were changed into a story of yearning, heartache, and desire that was not expressed through his voice, which held both vulnerability and power. The song that had once encapsulated the freewheeling attitude of Britney Spears when she was younger was now filled with a completely other feeling, one that was more mature, thoughtful, and profoundly personal. The artistic idea that Zack had included this daring reimagining of the original. Instead of simply singing a song, he wanted to reimagine what it meant to be a singer. His skill to handle dynamics was brought to light by the slower tempo and stripped-down arrangement, which drew the audience in with each stop and emphasis. Because of the emotional depth that he gave to the music, listeners were able to temporarily forget that they were listening to a pop song, and instead felt as though they were experiencing something far more personal. It's a battle of the legends, according to the coaches' reactions. At the same time that the performance was taking place, the coaches were sitting on the edge of their seats, attempting to keep their emotions in check while they deliberated whether or not to turn their chairs. It is impossible to deny the creativity that Zack possesses, as his voice smoothly rose from a faint whisper to a strong crescendo and back again. It wasn't long before the coaches started commenting on the situation. Adam Levine, who is well known for his ability to recognize genius in its wildest, most unrefined form, was the first person to push his button. When he turned to his colleagues' coaches, he did so with a grin on his face and quickly remarked, "This is precisely what this show is about. Not only is it about singing, but it's also about reinterpreting the music in a manner that feels like it's more unique to you." Adam's excitement was tangible, and it was obvious that he was already imagining Zack as a member of his team throughout this conversation. Nevertheless, Adam was not the only one who was enthralled. Michael Bublé, who is known for his flawless crooning style and his passion for reimagining old songs, was also captivated by the song. Michael moved forward and stated, "This is what we need on this show, a voice with soul, a voice that doesn't just sing the notes but feels them." Michael's signature charm was evident in his statement. Zack's one-of-a-kind interpretation of the song immediately set him apart from the other performers, and Michael could feel the thrill in his body. From the beginning of the performance till the end, John Legend was clearly moved. The decision that John would turn his chair was nearly a guarantee, given that he is well known for his capacity to understand artistic expression and emotional complexity. "This was absolutely breathtaking," he added with a smile of admiration on his face. "Simply put, the way you handled that song was nothing short of brilliant. You breathed new life into something that was already familiar to you. That is extremely unusual, and I would like to collaborate with you." Zack's ability to surpass expectations and take a song to new heights was demonstrated by John's words, which were a testimony to Zack's performance. Last but not least, Kelsey Ballerini, a country pop sensation who has a profound appreciation for both the art of storytelling and the ability to sing, appeared to be split, but ultimately decided to press her button as well. "I am so happy that you decided to take this risk," she remarked with a smile. "You completely turned the song on its head in a way that is so new and exciting. I am interested in seeing how far you can take your creative abilities thanks to this." The concert that Zack gave to Kelsey was a demonstration of his flexibility. His performance resonated with musicians from a wide variety of musical genres, including pop, jazz, and country. As each of the 4 coaches took their turn, the stage was prepared for a bout between 2 musical powerhouses. But Zack's one-of-a-kind style and daring reinterpretation of a classic hit put them all in a position where they had to choose a coach who could assist him in developing his voice, while also enabling him to continue rethinking the songs that he sang. As Zack stood there, waiting to see which coach would finally make their pitch, the tension that was in the air was evident. Zack's Reimagining. Why it was a game-changing experience. The novelty of taking a pop song and transforming it into something that is not recognizable was not the only thing that made Zack Zaro's performance so remarkable. It was his gift for being able to establish an emotional connection with the song as well as with his listeners. Baby One More Time has been a cultural touchstone for a very long time. Yet Zack's rendition of the song reveals a deeper and more subtle side of the song that many people may not have noticed beforehand. Zack was able to bring attention to the lyrics in a manner that had not been done previously by removing the cheery sound and concentrating on the subject of vulnerability. The original song, which included a catchy chorus and a charming hook, was frequently seen as a youthful anthem that was both innocent and whimsical. Zack's rendition, on the other hand, peeled aside those layers to reveal the underlying feeling of hopelessness and isolation. The lyrical material, which had been seen in the past as a humorous appeal for a love that had been lost, now felt like an excruciating call for emotional connection. To add insult to injury, Zack's arrangement breathed new life into the song. His voice was able to fly on a canvas that was supplied by the subtle interaction between his guitar and the sparse piano arrangement, which added dimension and depth to the performance. The purpose of his performance was not only to demonstrate his exceptional vocal abilities, rather, it was to interpret a piece of music and create something that was both familiar and completely original. The influence on the 27th season of The Voice. The performance that Zack gave became a defining moment for the 27th season of The Voice. The audition was not just exceptional, it also served as a defining moment for the remainder of the season. The fact that he was able to rework a popular song and make it his own demonstrated the wide range of talent that the program was bringing to the stage. It was a demonstration that The Voice was not only about the voice quality of the competitors, but also about their artistic aptitude and originality in reworking music. Zack became a fan favorite as the season continued. He was noted not only for his original interpretations of pop songs, but also for his consistent delivery of emotionally packed performances that defied genres. His journey was followed with bated breath, and his blind audition continued to be a defining moment throughout the season, which was frequently referred to by both the coaches and the fans throughout the season. A daring future awaits us. The moment that Zack Zaro reimagined Baby One More Time was a defining moment in his career. It was a statement that he was not simply another vocalist, but rather an artist who was determined to take chances and redefine what a performance could be. Despite the fact that Zack was competing for his attention on The Voice with 4 great coaches, his future on the show was already looking extremely promising. During the time when the audience was excitedly anticipating what was going to happen next, there was one thing that was certain: Zack Zaro was a formidable opponent. His performance had not only left an indelible mark on the stage of The Voice, but it had also lifted the bar for what could be accomplished in the world of music. It demonstrated that everything is possible if one possesses the perfect combination of imagination, heart, and voice.